Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corp Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by Ploppy, son of Ploppy. It's Mikey G. Wolf E3. Hello, Mikey.
Happy birthday to you.
3 days late.
Happy birthday to you.
3 days late.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
I know you've lost a lot of weight, Mikey, but I don't think your body quite looks like a whatever age Mr. Burns is. I'm hoping.
Not Marilyn Monroe, you went with Mr. Burns.
That's right. Because that's how I remember that.
You're one day closer to it all coming to an end.
That's right, I am. Well, 1 year and 3 days closer to the end, at least. Yes. I have aged.
We all become robots.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to that day because I'm hoping things will become better.
They're going to come worse.
Well, maybe not. But we're here to talk about Transformers this week, Mr. Mikey, and there's less news than usual, I think is fair to say, yeah?
At first it looks like there is more, but then you realize.
There is not. It was a lie. It was a deceit.
It was a tissue of lies by poor press releases.
And that happens, you know, we're coming up to the Crumblemas time, so the only thing, I think, real umphy, tasty, large chunks kind of stuff we'll have to talk about will probably be the comics, which we'll be doing...
Next week, probably.
Next week, probably. And then the podcast will probably be...
And Bumblebee. Week. We'll probably do... I think I am more interested in doing something for Bumblebee than I was in the other movies.
Yes, yeah, I thought you meant the comic Bumblebee, because we can still do that.
I mean, there is a comic... There are 2 Bumblebee comics, and we need to... We also need to sort of, for the foreseeable, figure out what to fill in for the comics going forward, so...
We could go through all the comics. Yeah, you know how you do now the retrospective. Let's start from where it all started, Mikey, and go through every issue.
But I'm literally already doing that.
Yeah, and I'd lie. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. But no, we'll find something. There's things to do. There's things to talk about.
Things to do.
Yeah, but we have third-party stuff. Only 2 bits really to talk about. We're starting off with the JX Metal Beast 01 from Winged Dragon from who, Mr. Mikey?
Xingxiang GX.
There you go.
JX.
Yep. I wanted you to take a swing at that so I could be safe. So, this is...
Maytel Beast.
Yes. Maytel, not metal.
Winged Dragon.
Hang on, Maytel or Mattel?
Little too close to they weren't careful enough.
Maybe. Suing time. There is a few images of this. I don't think any of them are, in quotations, real. I don't think these are real shots, are they?
Like, I looked at these, right, and I said, okay, these are CGI renders. But then, like, people were saying these are prototype images?
I think parts of them look real, but, like, specifically the face on the robot mode doesn't look real, at least to me. I think it's the light shine on the figure, because unless it's covered in a slightly matte yet glossy paint, I don't think that's the light, how it would work.
I don't know. I can't even imagine that light that does that. It just looks, to me, it looks like a CGI render.
Though we could easily be wrong.
We could be wrong. It's happened before.
Yes, and it'll happen again. But to me, and clearly to Mikey, it didn't look real. But that's not the point, because we see in multiple posage, which theoretically will be what the toy can do if it is real or if it isn't. And we see him in robot mode and dragon mode, but Mikey, you know what they don't show?
Ski dragon mode.
Yeah, whatever vehicle mode it had.
I think it's officially a go-kart or something like that, or a race car.
I think it was a race car. I think race car sounds cooler than go-kart, relatively speaking. And, you know, I guess he's a race car. It doesn't look like it can do that, so, you know, got to take points away. if you like. There are 5 interchangeable faces, apparently, which brings us several expressions for display. Can you see these? I can see one here.
I went through and I couldn't find them, unless they're in the thread somewhere.
Yeah, which they could be, again.
Okay, yeah. I'm seeing something like people are saying left side faces, right side faces. Okay, so I'm going to open up the thread and see if there's
Oh no, Mikey.
door.
That's dangerous.
I'll do it for you! I'm not just opening up a thread. I'm opening up a third-party forum thread on TFW.
Do not look into the box!
Okay, we've got pictures loading.
I'm really worried that the Ark of the Covenant's just been opened here.
Okay, we've got shots comparing it to Perfect Effects one. Okay, my eyes are still attached. That's good.
For now.
For now. Oh, you know what? I think no. There's nothing coming up. I don't think the faces have been revealed.
Okay. It doesn't seem like it anyway, so we'll just have to take the word for it. If they have been shown, well, clearly we can't find them at the moment. I will say the face that we currently see, I'm not a big fan of. It's like someone got 2 hooks and put them into each side of Megatron's mouth and just kind of pulled to the sides. I
think I remember him making that face, but I don't like it. I'm hoping, if there's 5 faces, I'm hoping there's a fair bit of variety.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I would hope so.
There's also a weird thing where his dragon knees are asymmetrical.
Is that? Oh yeah. I wonder why that is. Is that?
And
I'm
checking.
Accurate?
I'm checking. I'm gonna check the show model because you know what? Believe it or not, I don't remember Megatron's knees.
No, shockingly.
No, yeah, like one of the knees looked kind of like feet and one didn't.
Oh well, that's good. It's good that they. I suppose that they would have to because they're clearly going for more cartoon accurate, CG animation accurate than. There was another Transmetal 2 Megatron that came out recently, which everybody was fucking raving about. Wasn't
the Perfect Effect one, yeah.
Is that the Perfect Effect one? Okay, because there's actually been 3, 4, maybe 5 Transmetal 2 Megatrons, I think, at this point.
I can only think of 2.
Because there was that other one that looked we weren't happy with it at all, and it didn't really look like It was a take on Transmetal 2 Megatron, but I can't remember what the company was that did it.
No, I mean, like the only
you know
ones
the
that
one I'm talking about really poorly.
Not really. I'll be honest. The only ones that are sticking with me are these 2. But
there was another one.
Did you know we get a lot of third-party figures?
We do. This is true, and they do like to jump on a bandwagon. How do you feel about this one, though, Mikey?
Little mixed.
Why is that?
There's things I like. I think the dragon mode looks fairly solid. I do prefer the Perfect Effect one because I think they stylized where they needed to.
Yeah.
This one, it's the direct translation, so it does work, but direct translations do occasionally have that vibe of you were never meant to exist.
Mikey says that when he goes into the hospital all the time.
Who are you? The robot mode is... I feel like it needed more detail for what it is, and I'm really disappointed they didn't work in an elbow joint into the dragon neck.
Yeah, that is a shame.
It shouldn't be that hard to do it, and it without breaking up the sculpt a ridiculous amount, and it would have added that extra bit of articulation, and because especially since I suspect those are all ball joints in the jointed neck, and those worry me when you have several of those in a line together.
Why is that? Why does it worry you? Why does it put the fear of God in you?
If one goes, the neck loses all its posability. Or if one just happens to be weak, you have to be able to go in there and fix it yourself, and not everyone is comfortable doing that. Especially
with a third-party toy.
But overall, he looks okay. I'm not particularly blown away by him, I have to admit. Was kind of expecting to be.
Okay.
Also, is that little purple thing on his neck? What's that?
I wondered that as well, and I'm really not sure. Do you think it's some kind of gimmick?
Don't know. It looks like it's on the toy, but I don't know if it's on the show model, but it is on the original toy.
I can't remember. I've got the toy, but it's been a while since
Maybe
I've actually
that's
fiddled
like
with
on
it.
the toy, it's the switch that lets you move it.
Let's have a
move
look
Move the
again.
dragon neck around,
Oh yeah, that's what that was for. It was a bit more obvious because that was the thing that you grabbed and turned the head left and right. So I'm surprised it's there on here, unless it has a function on this figure.
Or it's in the show model.
Maybe it could be a
For
thing.
some reason, it's really hard to find pictures from the actual TV show of Megatron.
It's because he wasn't in Dragon mode that much.
True.
He was very, very rarely in Dragon mode. He didn't actually do much in Transmetal 2.
3 or 4 episodes?
Oh, max. And he was not the main plot. He was not the main focus of those episodes either. Until at the end when he was reading from a book.
Yeah, and he had to, the Tiger Hawk debacle.
The Tiger Hawk Accord.
The thing that stands out about apart from the book reading of this Megatron is when he had a judge's wig on.
Yes, yeah, that was the thing.
When the Quick Strike was being tried.
Yes, for treason.
Yeah. Okay, house open up, please. I don't think that's on the show model. No, it is on the show model.
Wow.
It's just blended. Yeah.
Huh. Well, there you go.
I'm learning all these things about this toy I never knew.
Fairly
also,
accurate.
I never realized the show model had the wheels.
Yeah, I suppose they had to put them in.
But they never used them.
Oh, God, no. Here's the thing. I'm still waiting for third parties to move off of Transmol 2 Megatron because it's a fine design. It's a fine design.
Doesn't have roller skates, though.
It's not the best one. Like Mikey says, it's not the best one. There's a reason as well to have a Transmetal 1 Megatron, since a new one would hopefully be guaranteed not to turn to dust.
Yes.
So there's an even bigger incentive for people to have Transmetal 1 Megatron than Transmetal 2.
I think that would make be a fine toy to make. I'm not particularly interested in a Transmetal Optimus, but no one ever was. It wasn't a great design.
It was different. It's certainly not his best look. No.
First Optimus to have a face, though.
That's true. Wow, that's true. Huh. But that was fine because he was primal, so it wasn't Optimus Prime.
And he very quickly went back to his half face mask.
Yeah. Because he got better and thick. I think this is okay. I think I prefer the Perfect Effect one as well myself over this one, but this one looks like if they are going to make, say, an accurate cartoon version of these figures, then this might be the way to go, but I'm not sure that means this will fit in with, say, your Masterpiece figures, because we don't have sense of scale, and I have a feeling it's not going to be to scale if you wanted to put with the other figures.
Yeah,
because Megatron's he's bigger. The normal Megatron Beast Wars figure that is coming out is bigger than Dinobot, right? So this one would need to be the same size as that, or bigger, right? And I don't think that's the case. I don't think this is size accurate.
No, it couldn't be.
No. Anyway, Mikey, do you want to tell us about Transbots, or X-Transbots, I should say?
Yeah, leading to something a bit unusual that I'm actually doing research on as I look at it. So we've got X-Transbots MKXV7, or, 17. Taiho. This is a repaint of their MX-17 Savant, which is a Masterpiece scaled Skids. This is unusual. It is a Skids done up as a police car. He's got a couple of new pieces. So he's got a new head and a motorcycle, and he's got light bars. And this also comes with 2 small action figures, or at least figurines. We don't know if they've got posability or something like that. And they are of 2 human characters. And this whole thing is a direct reference to an anime I've never seen or heard of until I was flicking through this, which was Taiho Shikazo, also called You're Under Arrest. And the 2 dolls are going to be based off of Natsumi and Miyuki, who are the 2 main characters, the 2 female protagonists of the show. I'm just looking at it. The story of You're Under Arrest revolves around Natsumi Sujimoto and Miyuki Kobayakawa, 2 female officers at the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, and the protagonists of the show as they are stationed in the fictional Bokudo Police Station located in Sumida, Tokyo. The series is largely episodic, and it focuses on the interaction between the main characters and a humorous supporting cast. The majority of the series takes place in the greater Tokyo area. Yeah, this is weird. It's not based off of the best Japanese 90s police show, which was the Burn Up franchise. The just the best one.
Are you being legit, or are you taking the piss?
Oh yeah, I love Burn Up.
Okay.
I love Burn Up. And if one of you judges me, fuck off. As like a bunch of people going like, burn what?
Yeah, because that's how I felt. I'll be honest. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yep. But this is weird. This is unusual. And Andy, what do you think of this? I think it looks okay.
I want to know why one of the two silhouettes of the ladies, why one of them's doing a tiger knee to the other.
Maybe that was a scene from the show.
So, is it going to be a cutout Wigan, or are they going to be?
It's down
figures
as
that come
quote,
with them?
dolls. So,
I wonder what
it's
that
down
means.
as dolls. So, I'm assuming it's some sort of figurine.
Yeah, brushable hair, or just.
I would
like
be surprised
Figma?
if they went that far.
Same, because Japan's not known for their brushable hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I think the vehicle mode is really nice. I like it a lot because it's unique. Like, you don't see vehicles like this anymore, probably for a good reason. I wonder, it looks like something hits, a rock hits it and it'll just burst into flames. But it's got a really cool shape to it. I like it. The weird thing is the back kind of looks a bit like a hearse, which is slightly disturbing. My issue with it is probably the robot mode. The robot mode looks real generic. Like, I thought, like, before I read the story and you talked about it as well, I thought it was just another Skids that was white. Because that's his basic silhouette. He has the Skids from Alternators, Spinal Tech kind of look to it, which I think is a bit of a shame. Because if it had a bit more of a interesting, unique silhouette or something to make it stand out, that would have been a bit more interesting, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I also would have been in if it was the last from Kiss players.
No.
Yes, bring it back.
No.
Bring it back and save Kiss players.
Why? No.
Yes.
There's probably a Skids toy in Kiss. Yeah, there was.
No, there is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Vinyl Tech one.
Oh God, that's gonna happen next, isn't it?
It's time.
Oh dear. But like sticking to the extra in the box for a second, they're also doing Herald, who is a repaint of the Skids mold into Crosscut. This comes with the same accessories as Savant, but yeah, just a new head and a whole lot of repainting. I honestly didn't know who Crosscut was until he showed up in Mord Meets the Eye, so I've very little interest in this. It looks fine.
Who was
I don't know why
again?
He was in Mord Meets the Eye.
I mean, before he was in More Than Meets the Eye, was he anyone before that?
I think he's an E-hobby character.
Oh, yeah, he's probably
I think.
I'm guessing then he's probably an E, because he's been done into this, he's probably an E-hobby version of Skids, right? That would probably make sense.
Yeah, yeah, he was the Skids mold. But,
yeah, okay.
Let me double check. He was first released in... Yeah, E-hobby exclusive, sold in a set with Road Rage.
Yeah, there you go. Cool.
And yes, he is indeed a Skid.
I think the head mold looks nice, but because this isn't a shitty police car, it kind of loses something, I think. Even though it's technically got a more interesting color scheme to it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But
I like the shitty look of the old Japanese cop cars. I don't know why.
He's got nothing to him, really, does he?
I think the reason I like the old shitty Japanese police cars is because they remind me of old like Sentai shows. Because they always popped up in them. Why did they have a weird not motorbike as well? What's that?
I think Skids, the original Skids toy, had that.
Oh, okay, cool.
I have the original Skids toy somewhere, but
same. I have no idea where it is though. No, I do. It's in one of the collector boxes, so it's on a shelf. I've just never opened it because I don't care about Skids.
It lives somewhere.
Yeah, it do.
Anything else you want to say about Crosscut?
No, I don't think so, Mr. Mikey.
In that case, take us on.
Yeah, Mikey, some strange things come out of Japan now and again, don't they?
They do.
Well, another thing is apparently on the horizon, the G-Shock X Transformers Master Optimus Prime Resonant Mode official announcement has been made. That's a long title, but that's what they've called it. So Casio G-Shock and Transformers join for the 30th anniversary of the franchise. That's for Transformers, right? Not for Casio.
No, Casio's older than that.
That's what I thought. Okay, so even so, it's a very strange decision to make. But here are some bullet points of what this thing is. It's a special G-Shock DW-6900TF-4. You all know what that is.
Do we?
Yeah, obviously. It's obviously, Mikey, Optimus Prime colors.
Oh, well, obviously.
Obviously. It's a transformable Master Optimus Prime Pedestal Prime. Pedestal Prime? Alright.
I think it's
I was
Prime
just reading that again.
It's an Optimus Prime pedestal. It is a pedestal that becomes Optimus. Except it doesn't, because I looked into the fiction a little.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll continue through these points and then we'll hop to you. It has 2 Star Drive cannons. Let that sink in.
Hang on, it turned Star Drive into 2 guns.
No, two guns.
That's
guns.
mean.
No, sorry, not guns, cannons.
Mean.
Better.
She doesn't deserve that.
There is a Chrono Matrix.
Yes.
The above-mentioned items will come in a special package. I don't think that's a shock. The pedestal can transform into a posable Optimus Prime figure. So that's the main crux of this, by the by. This figure can carry the included Chrono Matrix or the G-Shock DW blah 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 on his chest. You can also attach a G-Shock 5600 or 6900 model, sold separately, in robot mode. So pen that in if you're a G-Shock enthusiast. Release date will be the 8th of December, so it's coming real soon. It's not cheap, though. It's really not cheap, Mikey.
Well, it does come over to an entire, fancy watch.
That's true, but, I'm happy with a £10 kid watch with a Velcro strap, so I'm the wrong person to ask for this kind of stuff. It is going to cost you 29,000 yen, which is approximately 256.91 cents US. So, Mikey, what was the fiction that you found for this weird little novelty?
Yeah, so very little I found, but Master Optimus Prime is not Optimus Prime.
Oh.
Or at least not the normal Optimus Prime. He's a mysterious Autobot from another universe who's confronting Decepticon attacks throughout time and space. I'm assuming he's basically like the Doctor if he was a giant robot.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like an alternate Optimus Prime.
Yeah, basically he goes around fixing time problems.
I really hope they do connect it into the Alternity universe, because that would make a lot of sense for them to do that.
Just what Alternity Prime had just decided, this is what I'm going to be now, I'm going to be a clock.
Well, remember, wasn't Skywarp's guns where he shot through time? That sounds like it would do some pretty bad damage, so this Prime cleaning that shit up.
Shot you yesterday.
Oh god, let's fix this. This is broken.
Yep. Also, there's an amusing typo in the story saying G-Shock's website. The website is something entirely different, guys.
Oh dear.
Please do not check the website at work.
No, it's not safe for work. What do you think of this thing? Because the pedestal mode is
broken up robot.
It is a thing. It's not a very convincing thing, but it is a thing.
I feel like that should be hovering in the back of a Star Trek.
Well, it should just be in like Captain Picard's quarters or something.
Or a Klingon, you know what it is? Somewhere like a Klingon chamber that's just there, unexplained.
The saddest thing is one of the images which has a planet, that mode, and an Optimus Prime next to it. So it's almost like it feels like it's suggesting this is a ship mode. It's like, oh no, it's space. But no one would build a spaceship.
Which raises
like
the
this.
question: what your reaction would be if that was coming towards you with a giant watch on it?
Time for doom.
This is your countdown. Our countdown is now. Beep, 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 beep.
The Matrix thing just seems to be a filler for the figure. It doesn't seem to do anything. You could wear it on your wrist, but it doesn't look like it has any function apart from to fill in a hole.
Yeah.
The watch is a watch, so you could have him as a posable
it
clock.
Looks
I guess
like he can transform around the watch without you removing it.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's to make sure the watch doesn't get wrecked or anything like. I'm assuming the last thing you do is probably push the watch into the chest, or you close the arm parts around or the chest part around the watch. Something safe that won't damage it or something like that. This is a weird little item, Mikey.
It is. Do you want to know the thing?
Yeah.
I really like this Optimus design.
Oh, the actual robot mode.
Yeah, I really like it.
I wouldn't say I really like it, but I don't hate it.
It's nice and angular. It's a bit crazy. The articulation looks okay on it. He's got ankles.
You do.
But you do. But like, I just like it, and it's so weird. And then you work in like he's basically a time cop.
Mm-hmm.
So like, this is weird, and I will never ever own one, but it's endearing in its weirdness.
You know how you make this make more sense? Instantly will make more sense. There's one way to do it, and it's a simple thing.
Mm-hmm.
Change the character from Optimus Prime to Heinrad. This was before he became a Tanuki. Because, that figure had a clock in him already. I'm pretty sure he was a time agent already, right?
Yep. Something like that.
So it just makes more sense than Prime. I get why they done Prime, don't get me wrong. He's more bankable than Heinrad. People be like, who the fuck's Heinrad? Especially outside of Japan. But I would like to have seen Heinrad instead, just because I think it would have worked a little bit better. It's neat, though. It's not a terrible design. It's unique. It's different. A third party certainly hasn't done anything like this, so there's another plus, I guess.
Yep, definitely.
Here's a question. Do you think we'll get repaints of this? Do you think at the very least we'll get a Nemesis version?
I'd like us to get a Nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nemesis is really required for any Optimus. I think Magnus is probably more likely.
What, just white?
Yeah, I think he is more likely out. Just for some reason, I'm just getting this vibe like you'll get Magnus first.
I don't know, because Japan really does like their black repaints. I think they like them. I wanna put faith in Japan and say that they like them more than just the white Optimus Primes.
I don't know. I mean, they did start the black.
They did, and it was America that started the white.
I don't know.
No, I don't either.
This feels like a start of a weird fantasy book.
I'm not sure I'm into this. I do have one other little bit of news before you move on to your bit of news, Mr. Mikey. And that is the fact that this is something that I didn't know until recently. Did you know, Mikey, which you probably do, that all of the War for Cybertron boxes have blacklight Cybertronian messages and numbering on the side of them?
No, I did not.
Yes, they in fact do. I'm looking through Twitter at the moment because someone posted a picture of it again fairly recently, but you know how easy it is to find things on Twitter. If you get any of the Siege figures, or at least the Deluxes and Voyager figures, obviously I don't know for the Battle Masters or anything like that. If you put a black light up to the card art, like the artwork on one of the sides, there is Cybertronian lettering, like I say, and a number on it, so you can have them listed in numeric order if you choose to.
Right. I'm going to get the controversial thing out of the way first.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm saying it because someone has to say it.
Okay. All right.
Are they finding like a pattern to these, like make, great, and then two more missing words?
Not as far as I know, but then it is in Cybertronian, so you need to ask McFeely on that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, precedence has been set.
It's a thing.
Who owns people are gonna. I was gonna say who owns a blacklight, but people are just gonna start buying blacklights for this.
I always thought as a kid that all you had to do was get a bulb and just paint it. It was like that'd do. I was super disappointed to find that wasn't the case. Well, why wouldn't it work? That's what I thought. Why wouldn't it work?
I just picturing little Andy.
Whoa,
Look at the black light.
Or with black paint just covering up all the light bulbs. I'm making things better.
I'm wondering why you're sitting in the dark afterwards. Maybe the power's out.
I don't get it. Everything should be blue. Luminous. But yeah, there's some images of real black lights working.
Oh, my
on the
sides. Oh dear, these are okay. Actually, this is pretty cool. I hope people will translate this. And I hope it says something
please!
Like,
You
let's all
hope
be
they
friends.
will. You hope they will. Of course they will. They're already on this. They're already on. I'm interested to see, to hear at least if the carded figures have this kind of stuff on it as well. Anyway, Mikey, do you want to take us on to our last bit of news, which is weighty but not mighty?
Yeah, so a bunch of news stories showed up during the week, which were basically all announcements from the upcoming TFcon USA of guests, which I really feel could have all been made in one story.
Yes.
But we have several. For anyone who doesn't know, it's being held in the Los Angeles Marriott Burbank Hotel and Convention Center. And apparently you have to say, no, that's not Los Angeles, that's Burbank, according to one of the podcasts I was listening to.
What?
I don't know. All I know is that I hope the place is still there after the last month or so, because California is getting the shit kicked out of it, for want of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
And best wishes to everyone there, and hope you're all safe and everything else. Looks like you have not been having the best of times. But yeah, so apparently this is one of those places where people will say, it's kind of like people say, you know how London Gatwick, and Gatwick's quite a bit out of London. Okay, people who live down in South will know what I mean. So basically, you get to Gatwick, and it's not really London.
No,
Not
no.
really.
It's because it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, I suppose, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a nice little town, but it's not London. But
No.
it still says London Gatwick when you're searching it on the train thing. But anyway, so the guests we have confirmed are, first of all, Arthur Burkhart, who played Devastator in Transformers Generation 1, and he also played Destro in G.I. Joe. He was at TFcon in 2017, so he's a nice returning voice actor. We also have Paul Eiding, voices of Perceptor and Quintessence in Transformers Generation 1. Very good voice actor, very popular guy, very nice. Showed up in Metal Gear Solid as Colonel Roy Campbell.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we have Michael Bell, lovely man, shake his hand if you see him, who played Prowl, Sideswipe, Bombshell, Brainstorm, First Aid, Scrapper, Swoop. And I believe he did a line of motion comics as well, not for Transformers, but for other things.
Oh.
But he also played Duke in G.I. Joe, Lance in Voltron, Grouchy, Lazy, Handy Smurfs in the Smurfs. He was also in MASH in an episode, I remember. Yeah, so we've also got Neil Ross, Bone Crusher, Hook, Six Shot, Slag, Point Blank, and Springer. He also was Dusty in Shipwreck in G.I. Joe, and Keat and Pidge in Voltron. Oh.
Old Pidge, not new Pidge.
Yeah, that would be very odd to have Neil Ross voice new Pidge.
Be different.
Be different. Now, and finally, not finally, we still got more to go. Alan Oppenheimer, a name I'm sure you've heard of. He played Warpath, Beachcomber, Breakdown, Sea Spray, Skeletor, Man at Arms, Merman. He's quite prolific in the 80s.
Yes.
And finally, making his very first convention appearance, we have Michael Horton. And if you've never heard of Michael Horton, he's been in quite a bit. He was John Jameson in the 90s Spider-Man.
Oh, no
Not
way.
J. Jonah. He was John Jameson.
Oh, the son. Okay.
Yeah. He was in Star Trek Insurrection. He was in Star Trek Voyager.
Who was he in Insurrection?
Lieutenant Daniels in, I'm assuming, one episode.
No, Insurrection was the movie?
He was in First Contact.
Who was he in First Contact?
Staff officer.
Oh, okay, so he's
Security
background,
officer,
He's
sorry.
a background dude. Okay, that's fine.
He was in Baywatch as Tony. Laser Tag Academy. He was in that.
What?
You never saw Laser Tag Academy?
No, I've never heard of Laser Tag Academy.
Hey, Andy, remember in the 80s where they were trying to sell every single toy under the sun?
I do.
Well, you know how Laser Tag is a game?
It is. That is a fact.
What if there was a cartoon about it involving time travel and evil people?
I would have been even more sold on laser tag than I was as a kid, and I was really annoyed that there weren't any good ones to buy.
What if there was a laser tag in the future where you went to school and then a madman stole stuff and you had to travel back in time to normal people times?
What, to shoot people?
To shoot people with lasers. But he was also Michael Jacobs in Prince of Bel-Air.
Michael Jacobs?
In Prince of Bel-Air.
What?
Not Fresh Prince.
Then I'm even more confused. What's Prince of Bel-Air?
It is a dodgy-looking movie where a man is standing on the cover of the video surrounded by women in bikinis.
Okay. Okay.
He was also Rick Jones in the 80s Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
And he was also in MASH as Lieutenant Kurt Collins. I don't remember that one. But Transformers-wise, you'll remember him because he was a man with courage.
Yes.
He played Chip Chase. Wheels to Spike's leg man.
Who never made it to season 3 for some reason.
Who disappeared. I don't know if there's actually a reason why Chip Chase disappeared. I read something recently about it, and I can't remember what it was. Let's see. Chip Chase. Whatever happened to Chip Chase? Was Chip murdered?
Well, you would hope they would have given him the leg things that... who was it in The Return of Optimus Prime? You know, the last that has the roof dropped on her.
Oh, God, yeah.
She had the harness put on her, so they could have given that to Chip.
Oh, God.
Maybe he got locked in a time loop and became Dr. Arkeville.
Chip and Charlie never appeared in the same episode at all in the US run.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
He was absent from season 3, but they did design an adult Chip Chase.
Oh, but they never used it, obviously.
They never used him. He was he was designed for the Headmasters.
Ah. Oh, so he would have randomly popped into Headmasters. Oh, well.
Maybe Chip would have been a Headmaster. Chip Chase, Headmaster. Think about it.
Oh, well, there you go. That's cool. It's good because this will be his first convention, right? At least
yes.
Transformers.
Yep. Far as I know.
Yeah.
But
neat.
no, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a lot of guests announced in 1 week, basically. That was a whole hell of a lot, but it sounds like they've got a pretty good lineup, I would say.
It's pretty cool. It's one of those ones where I feel like maybe they overdid it.
Yeah, because this is, I think, their first one in Los Angeles, right?
Yes, it's the first one on that coast, but it's quite prolific.
You mean
like,
TFcon?
What I mean is that they don't have a lot of time before the convention. I feel like they're rushing out of a fair few announcements.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
Like this could have been one a week.
Yeah,
and it would, no one would have gone like, well, if I don't know if Neil Ross is showing up, by God, I won't be buying tickets. Tickets? That's the sound they make.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of awkward pauses in this one.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Anything else then, Mikey?
No, anything on your end?
Not really. Like I say, I think it's cool that, I mean, there's a hefty group that's going. I hope people enjoy it. I hope it's as successful as the other ones, like in Chicago and obviously in Toronto, have gone as well. That's my hope. It sounds like TFcon is slowly germinating its way through the US at the moment and becoming a more and more powerful entity.
To just be you just get into like one TFcon in a month in the future.
Just in different parts of the US. Yeah, I could see that. That might be good.
Like cages behind where they keep guests and they let out different ones for different cons.
Hey, at least it's good that it's kind of getting around the country a little bit. It just needs to. They've had a center one. They've had one to the west of the country. Now have they had one in the east, like New York or something?
I think they're usually on the East Coast.
Are they?
I think so. I think maybe it's just like Toronto kind of serves for that one, but
that's like the north, and that's Canada.
Yeah, but that's a real country, man.
Damn. Right. Well then, Mr. Mikey, I guess it's time to shoot over and ask what you've been up to this week. What, you done fun? You got anything? You done anything? Come on, spill it. Spill it.
Don't wanna. You're not the boss of me.
Yeah.
Who said you could ask into my personal life?
Me. Well, the people need to know.
The people can go fuck themselves.
Jesus.
Jesus can go fuck himself.
Oh, Jesus.
Controversial opinion. So what did I get up to this week? Little bits and bobs. Caught up on Ruby. So it's up to episode 4 or 5. And these were backstory episodes, finally given the backstory of the main villain and one of the major side characters. And I'm sure someone out there is complaining about the lack of action in this season, and it is not an action-heavy season. Mm-hmm. But it's pretty good stuff, yo.
You're enjoying it still?
It's pretty good writing.
Good.
Pretty solid. Pretty good world building. Turns out the gods are pretty cool. And also we have basically our ticking clock for the entire show, which is what are we trying to stop happening here? Because so far it's been, we want to stop this person because they're a bad person, and now we know why we want to stop them.
Right.
But like, just the mythology behind the show is actually really, really cool now. Like, I'm really into just the base concepts of how people came into being and how the gods played into everything. Yeah, and like, there's some good character work in the most recent episode, especially for Crow, who's Ruby's uncle, who usually is a bit more of a I'm in the back being kind of cool guy. And he gets a bit frazzled in this one. But no, it's still a good show. Watched Cyberverse. I'm up to date in Cyberverse.
What episode is it up to now?
14. The last one I saw was like, hey, we picked up an Autobot signal. And away we go. Honestly, that's still a pretty solid little show. The animation is pretty smooth. It's so much nicer than what already had until the end.
Yes, I'm not hating. I'm not hating every moment with Cyberverse that I was with RID.
You're not hearing the click, which is what, like, when scenes jump or when something is really framey, I can hear this little click in the back of my head. I don't know why, but I just like watching the Dragon Prince, the first 3 episodes, it was almost physically painful.
I bet.
Despite the fact I ended up liking that show a lot, but here it's nice and smooth. Characters are fairly nice. I mean, the most recent episode had a lot of time with the Seekers. So Slipstream, Thundercracker, and the rest. But no, I'm liking it. Looks like the next episode is going to be a big one, because it's the first time we've seen a new Autobot in the present day. I will say, there was a moment where there wasn't anyone for Bumblebee to translate his nonsense, so it was him doing a dramatic scene, and it was a dramatic scene using his radio talk, and oh no, he kept on using a clip of someone saying they're useless, but it was I'm useless, but he's saying it in a really dramatic sense. And it's just like, I'm useless. And it's just like, oh no. So can that be gotten rid of by season 2, please?
I hope
chapter
so.
2?
I hope so.
Because the guy who does Bumblebee's voice normally, he's perfectly fine. It just sounds, because it's the same voice actor doing most of the clips, it just sounds like a guy who's having a moment. And also we have annoying robot sidekick, Teletran X.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Who is a little floaty thing that will barely recognize Windblade's existence because she is not crew. Like, oh no, is Windblade gonna die? It's okay, Bumblebee. She's not crew. Wow, Teletran X. You're just an asshole.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt Fancy, caught up on that again, or watched the episode. How
many episodes are we on to with that now?
7, I think.
Okay. We're chugging on.
Still a fun show. Still a very pretty show. Bit of drama in this one, bit of plot. It can't really pull the plot twist this time because we all know to expect it. But it's playing out quite well. Middle of the week was very busy, so I didn't have much time to watch a new show or catch up on my shows. But I did see Gridman last night, which was important.
Oh, good. Episode 7, yes.
Episode 7. This show is gonna fucking know our botches. Like, I think I know what's going on. I think I do, but I don't trust it. It's just like, hey, you're enjoying this fun thing. Time to get existential on your ass.
Oh no.
But no, it's mostly an aerial fight scene in this one as well, which is really fun. But there's big plot reveals. The computer alien thing is getting a bit creepier. And we're seeing sort of shifts in dynamic. And yeah, this is a good show. This is a good show. I require more of this. I'm annoyed it's only 12 episodes.
Maybe I guess depending how successful it is, maybe it'll, the come
thing
back
is,
for season 2.
If this ends the way I think it'll end, season 2 would be weird.
It's Trigger.
That is true. That is true. Or we'll get like an OVA.
Did Trigger do OVAs?
They do. They did one for Kill la Kill.
Did they?
Oh,
of course it did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The one where the school sinks
That's...
and Satsuki gets her mojo back.
That's right.
And then we find out why her hair's short at the end of Kill la Kill.
Mm-hmm.
But sort of entertainment-wise, the biggest time-consuming thing I've done is I am watching a playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Because I don't have a console, as we say often enough. So this is how I live vicariously through others. That looks like a really fun game, and the reason I watch these kind of things is because I'm interested in the story. The story in this thing is pretty damn well written. Very character-focused, very character-heavy. There's just a lot of craftsmanship. It's very obvious. I can't comment on the gameplay since I haven't played it, but it looks pretty competently put together.
From the way I've seen it, it looks like there's too many extra systems, and it makes it more simulatory than I'd want it to be. Yeah,
like they're very much going for a realism approach to a lot of it. Yet I did see a clip where there was a spaceship.
Oh, well, you know.
Because Rockstar, and there's also a clip where I saw where you were talking to a Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah, well, Bigfoot's in all of their games.
Also, Tesla's robot that killed Tesla.
Okay, well, that one's a bit more out there, I suppose.
But yeah, so I'm wondering what the weird DLC for this will be. Like myths and magic. That would be fun. Red Dead Redemption pulls myths and magic.
Well, that'll be a long time before that comes out, because, I mean, they've got the online to get out before that. Yeah,
I don't care about online, but yeah, like it's a prequel to the first game as well, so you get to see some stuff there. I know it's really well written, and I'd like to play it, and I hope to at some point in not too distant future, but we'll see. The only other thing we're talking about is I got a package from a Tricky.
Oh my god!
It contained a tiny Tricky, which I then burnt on the stake.
Oh wow.
But no, it contained the Chaos on Velocitron box set, which is, of course, the set that if you go onto eBay, you'll usually find it for £180 to £200.
No.
And is currently in the UK second tier retailer shop, Home Bargains, for 30 quid. So I got it. That is an interesting little set. For one that I kind of thought I wouldn't be interested in most of the things that are in there. Fastlane, I think, is pretty poor. His transformation's unsatisfying. His robot mode feels off in terms of quality.
Why is that?
Don't know. Just it doesn't feel right. I just don't like him, I have to admit. And he's so G1, it's actually hurting my soul. Because the G1 clones, man. The Rodimus Headmaster, it's a little die-cast Headmaster. The 3 robots in it, though, and this is very surprising to me, I think all of them are actually pretty decent.
Right.
So you've got Quick Switch. This is my first time with any of these molds as well. The mold, the transformations it's very G1 6-shot. It is G1 6-shot, almost 100%. But it's fun. You know, that the G1 6-shot toy is a fun toy to transform. And this is that, but hey, a little bit of posability on top. It has a big problem in that it's a bad repaint of a good toy, I think.
Yeah, like it's not pretty at all, unfortunately.
No, it doesn't look as bad in person, but like
okay.
the wolf mode, the wolf head in it does not look good in all red.
Right.
It just doesn't. And like when you put the Headmaster face on, because it feels like it was actually made when when they were going to retool the helmet. It goes down too far over the eyes.
No, that was the same for 6-shot as well.
All right. Well, it's down too far.
Yeah.
Like weirdly.
Yeah. The only way around that is you need to get yourself file and start, filing away and reboarding it away.
I don't think I'll be doing that.
It's easy enough to do.
No.
All right.
You can't make me.
No.
I refuse
not yet.
to live in your world.
I don't have my human Mikey effigy ready yet.
Is that why I was warm last night?
Well, sometimes I leave you on the radiator to dry you off.
What were you? Why am I wet?
That's what I was asking as well.
The next one in there is the Generation 2 Optimus Prime from the Titans Return Optimus Octane mold.
Oh, yeah, it's the first time you're handling that, too.
Yep. The jet is trash. Utter, unforgivable trash.
I think it's fine if you think of it
No.
as a fan mode.
Not even then.
No, I think it's fine as a fan mode because we've had
That
other
is-
fan modes which are silly.
I can't, because there is engineering in there. There are wings in there that get in the way in robot mode that don't need to be there for anything else but that trash jet mode. And it is trash.
I don't actually mind it too much on Octane because obviously there's a bit more paint apps to make it work towards that effect.
It just looks so bad. And actually, the stickers at least make it stupider,
They do,
which works. At least if you make something stupider, I'm usually more forgiving. I will say the stickers themselves, I can see some rubbing already, but the actual designs and things are really, really nice.
Did you have to apply them, or were they pre-applied?
They were pre-applied.
Right.
Depending on how they hold up, I would consider getting the replacement stickers from Toy Hacks.
Anyway.
I want to see how they hold up.
Just do it anyway. They'll be better.
I don't want to spend money I don't have to. But yeah, his truck mode is nice. I like his truck mode. And the robot mode. If you were to tell me that this was intended for Octane at the first, the robot mode, I really wouldn't have believed you. Because it just screams G2 Optimus. Everything. Like, maybe it's just, I'm sure it's just a retooling, everything else, but it's just really a really good version of him. And the only thing I really wish about it is that this was the Scourge version. But the colors, just because the colors aren't the most exciting in robot mode because all the black disappears.
Yeah.
Or a lot of black. The only complaint I'd have is that his legs don't seem to go, either I'm mistransforming him somehow, or his feet are a little bit below his heels, so he can lean back a bit. Maybe I'm mistransforming him. But honestly, really surprised by how much I liked him. And the last one is Nautica, who I do like a lot. My first time with the Blur mold. It's a nice little thing, simple transformation, very intuitive. The Nautica elements I like the colors pop really well. I like the fans, the headmaster, the face. The headmaster is completely unpainted in her case, but the face on it is really, really nice. I'm just surprised by how she's not my favorite as a toy.
Is that because of the transformation?
I don't know. I think maybe, but I just feel like the Optimus feels really solid in robot mode, and the quick switch is just so involved. Like, you have so much to do with him.
Yeah.
Like, she comes across as you're buying this. This is a really nice toy that you're kind of just getting because Nautica doesn't have an official wide release figure yet. But no, it's a surprisingly good little box set, and the quality overall is pretty solid of the toys. Like, I saw reports that quick switches could have quite loose legs sometimes. Mine feels perfectly solid.
They usually mean with the knees, though, don't they?
Yeah, but he's posable. He stands up well. And also, on the box, there's a little circle saying ooh, Velocitron and ooh, Cybertron, and you're just two more, and you're just you were totally planning on doing 2 more sets and including Headmasters, RC, and Grotesque.
Oh yeah.
So, which means there's 4 toys we never got.
Yeah.
Of 2 Voyagers and 2 Leaders, I suppose. But no, honestly, if you can pick it up, and it is cheap right now in the UK, do it. Do not pay scalper prices when you can get it cheaper.
I'm shocked the scalpers are up. Well, I am and I'm not. I'm surprised anyone's buying the scalper prices.
I mean, if you're American and you don't have a contact in the UK,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But also if you're an American, just look for a UK guy. Even with shipping, it'll be cheaper. It'll be so much cheaper, and you'll be better off. But no, it's a fun set, fun toys. Yeah, because I was very much in the camp of, it's an Octane toy, I'm surprised it's a Blur toy, and I'm surprised, and it's a 6-shot, and I'm surprised all the way through. But no, yeah, it's a fun set. I'd recommend it. Andy.
Yes.
There's one thing we were going to talk about at the end, just because I've been having nightmares about it for days. But apart from that,
ominous.
Oh no, we're going to we discussed this last night. We're talking about it. What did you get up to in the week?
What did I get up to? Well, Poopcast editing, that was the thing. Other general work stuff which I had to do, which was a thing. It was my birthday on Thursday, so I didn't do anything for my birthday because that's not how it works for me. But I did get things through the post for myself, which I got a while ago.
Mm.
Were you going to say something there? I thought I
No.
heard you building up to something.
I was adding background excitement.
Oh, okay. Yes, I got a few bits and bobs here and there. The first thing I'll talk about are I bought the Micromasters Monster Truck Patrol, I think they're called. And so I mean, I wouldn't say they're all monster trucks. One's a monster truck, one's kind of a tractory thingy. The other's a... What kind of vehicle is that? What's he called? Mater from Cars? You know, the hillbilly truck thing with the hook on the back of him.
Ford something, isn't he?
Yeah, so it's something like that, but this one's yellow. And then there's a drag racer. They're a really nice, bright, colourful little set. They don't really do much in terms of transforming, even for Micromasters. They're basically, you flip the legs down and you're done. But they are all quite pretty little things. And the nice... something I always like about Micromasters is the way that they decided on the colours were they got, okay, drag racer, his primary colour is orange, his secondary colour is blue. Monster truck, his primary colour is blue, his secondary colour is orange. They kind of just flip it around. It was an easy way to do it, and I think it kind of works nicely. So that's one of the slightly harder sets to grab. I still have quite a few Micromasters I'd like to pick up, like the Military Patrol, which is still my top tier kind of purchase for Micromasters, but to get them complete and to get them out of package, because you can buy them in box, Mikey, for like 40 quid. But
yeah.
I don't really want to spend that much on ones that I'm going to be opening anyway, because I don't know, I've always got this mentality that if it's in package or on card and it's mint, I want to leave it for someone who's not going to open it. I would feel if I bought it, I feel like I would be taking something away from someone that wanted to collect mint on card or mint in box kind of stuff, you know. So I never feel right about it, and also not going that way, I can have them cheaper as well. Hopefully, theoretically, Military Patrol one day maybe with any luck. I also got the Super Mini Pla Gaugai through the post finally.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. This is a Mikey. This is a cool little figure.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I am pretty solidly sure that this is a cool little figure. I would recommend grabbing one if you can. He's neat. He can, like, the worst thing about it was by the time I built him all, because I built him all in one day, was my fingers were wrecking. Because some of the parts were such a bitch to push together. Because for those that don't know, Super Mini Pla is basically, it's Mini Pla, and Mini Pla are small model kit candy toys. The Super Mini Pla are more detailed and they have more painted parts to them. They are the deluxe versions of Mini Pla kits. So pushing a lot of these parts together after cutting them off the sprue, just getting them into the places they needed to go, was a bit of a faff and a bit of a pain quite a few times. The only issue with mine is the redness on his eyes is barely there, so at some point I'm going to have to try and go in there, I think, with some red paint and paint it up myself, because there's barely anything in there, which was a bit of a bummer. Not a lot of parts forming either. I've heard people like Mr. Chris on WTF at TFW saying that he was put off by, I'm guessing, the line as a whole, rather than Gawagaigar itself, because a lot of them are parts formery. Like I've seen Hyoryu and Enyu, which have got coming to me, and the front of their engine modes are just one piece, or they're a separate piece which you take off and you remove, so then you can give them the more anime proportioned legs. So I get why that is a turn off for a lot of people. But Gawagaigar, there, how many parts forming parts are there? There are extra hands, so they count, because you get closed fists, and then you get slightly smaller closed fists, and the slightly smaller ones are for when you put them into his forearms. It's the same for Gaigar, the smaller robot, which has like claws that go over his hands. You get really, really tiny claws, or hands that go so the claws can go over the top of them. So that, it's one of those things where you go, okay, it's changeable fists, whatever. The head for Gygar as well is a bit on the small side because they wanted to keep the proportion for the helmet for Gao Gygar going in over the top of that, again, in proportion. So it's not as bad as Fygar from the Gao Fygar set, which I sent you a picture of a few days ago, didn't I, Mikey?
Yes.
With his super duper pea-sized head. Oh, it looks his is pretty fucking bad. I still wouldn't mind getting Fygar or Gao Fygar. He's not the best version in that movie of Gao Gygar. He's no Genesec. But I have a feeling that they're gonna get to them at some point, right?
I would assume you would, considering it's pretty, important design.
And I mean, they've pretty much done them all now at this point. The next sets that are coming out are Volfog and Mike Sounders, and then the exclusive version, which is a translucent Volfog and Gundobo and Gunglue to make Big Volfog. So the only I can only think of two things he can do, which is Genesec and Mikey. Maybe the first version of Kyoryu and Enyu or Anyu. Wouldn't that be fucking cool? That would be great. It would be their first figures ever made that weren't garage kit bash
thighs.
Things. Yeah, they were just all of the thighs.
The thing is, could you make the combiner work? What was her name?
No.
Not like
It was Kyo something.
Something Ryujin.
Yeah. Wasn't it just Kyori? No, it wasn't.
No, because they're all it's all Ryujin. So.
Yeah.
Geki, Choryujin, Geki Ryujin, and... this is going to bug me.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later. I don't know. I want to hope that that'll happen, and maybe it'll be multiple parts and more parts for Omri to make it work, but I hope that will happen, because they're basically done with Gao Gygar at this point, so, why not finish
10
it off?
Ryujin.
Maybe 10 Ryujin. Maybe they'll do Palparaper as well.
That name should never be said in English.
No, but he was a cool villain design.
He was. It was a cool design, cool robot. It's just his name is Palparaper.
It was unfortunate. They could maybe they could do the pliers.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you make them good solid robots, because the forearms are quite small, and the pliers are meant to go in over the top of them. But I don't know. I don't know. Could be interesting. So I got him and spent a day building him. I've got to throw some fucking shade at it as well.
Not shade, Andy.
Some fucking shade. Drink some fucking tea. It doesn't come with the delicious sweeties that give you the death like a soda figure. It gives you like cheapo chewing gum.
That ain't right.
No, I started chewing it and was like, I'm not going to swallow this because this tastes like chewing gum. So I was disappointed in that fact at the very least. So I have more Super Mini Pla coming to me, but I'll talk about them when I get them in the future. I also got, because beautiful mistakes were made, Mikey. Beautiful, godly mistakes were made. I got the SH Figure Art, Tamashii web exclusive, grade billion gem from Kamen Rider X8.
Did he arrive?
He did. He arrived. It was a bit weird how I had the what was it? It wasn't FedEx. It was UPS. Was it UPS? Whoever it was. They sent a delivery letter and said, this is when you're going to get it by. And what it actually meant was when they would receive it to then print the labels for sending it off.
Oh, you got one of those moments.
Yeah, because I didn't feel like I sent them an email and asked them, and apparently that's what it was, but I don't feel that on the website it conveyed that that's what it was very well.
No, unfortunately that's becoming more of a thing.
Yeah. I don't need to know when it arrives at your shipping depot for you to print labels for it. I just need to know when you got it, so then you send it out. Don't say when it's coming to you. I just need... Either way.
Don't worry, I've got it.
Yeah. Either way, he's very cool. It's the first time I've ever had a figure that's not the standard body type, I guess. He is like an Incredible Hulk kind of body type, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He's this big, chunky monster of a thing.
Yeah, sorry, I was just... I thought I heard something rattling inside of him, But it's just the way that his arms are done is you can pull them out further than the body to then get more posability to them, and then you can push them back in. So it's got a cone around it, which is a bit floaty, so it
Yeah, I know that. Yep, I know
kind
that
of
one.
rattles. And I wondered if it was something internal, because I heard it and was like, ooh. Also, his ankle guards, I guess, are floaty as well, so they float about a bit, which is fine. There's no issue there. It's interesting. It's a really cool little figure. It's great that he was made. Hey, Maximum Mighty, there's a reason you don't exist. It's because the best version came out.
Yep.
He comes with with more things than Kronos, at least. I can tell you that much. Let's lean over and get it. He comes with, including his closed fists, 3 sets of hands. He has his closed fists, his fists that can hold something, which he actually comes with, and then he has kind of opened hands, so you can put him in godly poses. And he also comes with the Key Slasher blade, I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah. From the Maximum Mighty Brothers as well, in no. It's in sword form or gun form.
Well, I mean, like in the show, there is no sword gun form.
Well, I mean, there has to be for the figures, just because of
for
how
the
the handle
so
works.
how he holds it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, because I haven't put it in his hand, I think
It'll be
it's
sword.
Just
Because they, looking at it, who would ever have thought it had a gun mode?
Yeah, well, the toy company who made it.
Yeah, but
I think it is in sword form, because I don't think he could hold it very well in gun form. So I'm very happy with it. He's a very striking and impressive figure, and he's nice and big, and he's chunky in the hand, and he's got some real tight joints on his body as well. He's just really interesting. Like it a lot. Good little figure. Yeah, very.
now
very
of course
happy.
he's incomplete.
No, he isn't complete technically.
you're missing a piece.
Did you do something wise with the link I sent you a few days ago? Because
I do not have the money to do things wise, I'm afraid.
that was unfortunate, because Kronos got to like £34,
Yeah.
which was that's why I sent it to you, because I was like, hey, this is a really good deal if you can do it.
Yeah, but hey ho, they such is life.
Yeah, you know what the annoying thing was, at least from my end? The level 0 gem only went down by 5%, and I was like, ugh. So it's still like 45 or more pounds, and I was like, I don't know. And this was before shipping or anything like that. So,
Well, look at it this way: going forward, it'll be a couple of hundred. So, because that's what happens to figure art exclusives.
Well, he's still on like not Ami. He's still on Mandarake for less. And the strange thing with that Nippon site is I don't know whether it's cheaper to go through them and pay the taxes and stuff up front, or it is to go through Mandarake and risk the gamble of not paying them. Is that weird? That weird juggle.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird, because I don't feel that the shipping for Great Billion was any faster than something from Mandarake, but I could be wrong there. The only other things I've done this week were I tried to watch a bit more of Old School Gridman and had to give up, because I was like, there's just so little stakes. The steak is mediocre, it's undercooked, and not to a good degree, like to the fact that it's still from the freezer. And I like my meat a little bit heated at the very least, and the show wasn't doing it for me. So I gave a break from that, and I jumped over to Little Witch Academia, which Mikey may know or may not is a really good show.
Yes, I've seen it.
That is a really good show. My plan last night was to watch 2 episodes. I watched 3 episodes. So they're talking about the 7 words for something. And what Akko has said, the second word, and someone who, and the teacher Woodward, something like that, who looks very much like Fantasy Titania, kind of bobbed in for the first time. I'm really liking the show. Me and Mikey were talking with Nicole last night and described it very much as Harry Potter, but if it was good. Or at least that's how I described it. That's how I strongly describe it.
If Harry was a character.
Yeah, sure. And they didn't have to worry about it. It was just about the magic, and it wasn't anything to do with Voldemort or any of that stuff. Because you mentioned to me that you've started realizing that you didn't like Harry Potter at book 7. I think I started figuring that out on The Order of the Phoenix, which was 5, I think.
Yeah, the way it worked for me is that when reading the books, I've been like, oh, I'm really enjoying this. Book 7, for anyone else know, 90% of it is just Harry, Ron, and Hermione on their own. And I realized as I was sitting there with these 3 characters on their own for hundreds and hundreds of pages, that I hated all 3 of them. Like, Hermione is a know-it-all who is entitled. Ron is the biggest moaner, nonsense sayer, and Harry is literally a void of personality.
Yeah.
And I wondered, why did I like these? And I realized I liked the world, and I liked everything. Like, I had loads of favorite characters in the school. So I never cared about the main characters. I liked the environment they were existing in. And then you took them out of their environment, and it was just like, oh, you're all so boring. So incredibly boring.
I can't disagree with that, personally. Yeah. But Little Witch Academia, that's really good. I love all the characters. Apart from Diana, who I describe as that hoe over there. Every time
Diana.
Every time she comes in, I'm like, this goddamn bitch. This fucking bitch.
But she's got a nice hat.
Does she?
I liked it.
The hat. I'm trying to think what her hat.
It's the same hat as everything else. I couldn't think of anything
that's what I was thinking. Every time she pops in, she's just like, God damn it, because she's the perfect student, and she comes from a rich family, and all that jazz. But no, I strongly recommend watching that. It's fun. It's really well done. It's just really engaging. It's pleasant, but it's not ball busting excitement. It's not one of those shows, and I think that's why Mikey assumed I wouldn't like it that much originally.
Yeah, I did kind of take that route.
Which is fair enough, because I do like my scrotum being squeezed by excitement and by hype, which this show isn't, but it's just very well done, and it's just nice to watch, and I'm very much invested, and the animation works 100%, thanks to Trigger. I did hear some, I can't remember what it was, but a video was talking mad diss on Little Witch Academia. It was only an offhanded comment, like they said it was a mess or something, and I was like, okay. And now I'm watching it
just
time on.
Or...
I don't know, because I'm watching like months and months on from watching that video, and I'm like, I don't see how.
It's not a mess.
No,
like the ending's a bit weird, but it's a magical anime show. Of course, the ending's weird.
Well, currently it's just hitting all my buttons, and
I don't know
making me
how
happy.
you could ever claim that shows them. I don't get how you could ever claim that.
They also didn't like Kill the Kill as well. Again, they made
Wow,
that an
fuck
offhanded
them.
statement. So they
Why are they alive?
Yeah.
Why are you wasting oxygen that could be used in people who have fucking taste?
They seem to not like anything Trigger did. So I mean, if they don't like anything Trigger does, then you know, I
did it like Gurren Lagann? The technically, let's all admit it was a Trigger show before there was Trigger.
I can't remember. I think they may have mentioned something about Gurren Lagann, but again, this was like 3 or 4 months back when I watched this video, and I was like,
I mean, if you don't like a studio, you don't like a studio. But
yes.
like, not liking a studio and then declaring everything they do is technically a mess is just like Little Witch Academia is very well put together.
Yeah.
Like,
the strangest thing though is to see the intro, and it's like, oh, it's a Netflix series. Because I just keep thinking of what was it, Neo Yokio, when I think of Netflix anime. No. And I've never seen it, but I know of people. I know of the meme with the Toblerone, and I know of Mikey's thoughts on it.
It's a really fucking bad show, and I'm really disturbed by it. Like the weird fan base it has, who are convinced it's literally the greatest, most subversive show of all time.
But that's why things
so
are good,
bizarre.
Mikey. Subversion's the best.
That's not subversive. That's fucking stupid. Like they have a really they try and do a thing where it's just like, oh, we're going to make a comment on transgender stuff, and they do it in the worst possible way, which is stick a man in a dress and have him get insulted about it.
Subversion.
You know what you don't do if you want to make transgender people interested in your show? Put a man in a dress and then say it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's, at least from my perspective, that sounds a bit insulting.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. The only other thing I did this week, the last of my things I've watched that was interesting, I suppose, was I watched and finished the She-Ra show, the 2018. So was that the Nightmare thing that you were talking about?
No.
Oh, okay. What did you think then of She-Ra for 2018?
It's not an action show.
It is not.
It has very little action. The action isn't brilliant. It also doesn't make a lot of narrative sense at the end where there's a fight scene and just that fight scene shouldn't be going the way it's going
There's a lot of problems and plot holes with stuff like that.
in the action side, and there's characters that are introduced in a really weird way. But overall, I thought it was pretty solid. I've seen people go like, "Oh my god, this is the perfect show," and it's not.
Oh no.
But I like the characters. I'm engaged. I found it fairly funny. I liked it. I think the relationship stuff was interesting. Some of the animation I found distracting, like the fact everyone's got this weird shadow on their nose all the time.
And I don't know if you noticed this, but sometimes there is no shadow at all, and then the next shot happens and there's shadow on the characters. Like particularly in action scenes with Horde troopers, they have no shading on them at all. They're the flat colors without shading to give them shape and definition. But then the next shot they will have it, and it was to me really distracting.
I mean, overall, I'd say I'd give it like a 7 or an 8. In all honesty, for a first season, I think it works, and there's just some weird decisions made in this show that I really hope they get past in season 2. But what did you think of it? Since this is your section.
I was less positive on it. I won't say that I'm a massive fan of She-Ra or He-Man, but I do enjoy them, and I watched them much later on. I only saw the Secret of the Sword, which was the She-Ra pilot 2-parter thing as a kid. I didn't see anything else, even He-Man related back then. I saw that was it. And when I came into the He-Man stuff, it was much later on, because Jai violently forced me to watch it through eye stares and hatred and feelings. And I really liked He-Man. I thought that was a surprisingly good show, though it has a lot of issues. It has its shitty episodes, of course, and it's limited tremendously by the animation style that they went with, which was rotoscoping, and not being able to actually punch anyone. That was the thing that they weren't allowed to do, which obviously hindered it. Yeah. But when they had good stories, they had some really good stories, and they were good at mythology building and world building, especially for that time. And it was the same for She-Ra as well. I've only got the first half of that, again thanks to Nicole, who I guess was done with the DVDs and sent it to me, so I know a bit about it. And I never liked it as much as He-Man, because it did have a different tone to it. It was still similar, but it had a slightly different tone to it. But I still enjoyed that a lot, so I do have a bit of a connection to characters like Seahawk, who in that was a swashbuckling pirate kind of, it sounds stereotypical to say, but Han Solo-y kind of guy. And he's not that in this show.
He's a subversion.
He is very much a subversion, and it was painful. I really didn't like Seahawk. I aggressively didn't like Seahawk. The only thing he could do was set his boat on fire and send it at people, and that was it. Everything else he tried to do, he failed at, which I was not a fan of particularly. There was a lot of issues again with not knowing how big the Horde is. Why haven't they just taken over the rebellion? Because the rebellion isn't doing anything, seemingly. They have no fighting force, seemingly. They are a divided force again. And I think it was in episode... The one thing I did like was Madame Raz. I did like the new Madame Raz. That was quite cool. In her episode, which was episode 3, they're walking through the forest, the Whispering Woods. Then they come across a devastated area of the Whispering Woods. And the Whispering Woods was apparently the thing that was keeping the Horde back. But then they just walked across this area which had devastated trees and everything like that. So it's like, well which is it? Does the forest protect them? And if it doesn't protect them, then why hasn't the Horde just wiped them all out anyway? I was like, I don't know. There was a good few times as well when She-Ra would throw her sword, or Adora would drop a sword, and she wouldn't go and pick it up, but then she'd magically have it again.
Yeah, I will say I did find it amusing just watching how often she didn't have the sword and then did.
Yeah, and it...
Because she never puts it on her back or put it on her side or anything. It's there when the show wants it to be there.
Yeah, and it's I'm not someone that generally notices these things. At least I don't think so. Noticing these things it's pretty striking, So I wasn't a big fan of that. I thought the Catra She-Ra relationship, though not written amazingly well, was probably the best aspect of the show. It had some good bits in there, But then some elements where I was just like, Catra, you're a fucking moron. Do you even know what you want? And maybe that's the point. I didn't like how all the characters felt very similar. Like Scorpia felt very similar to any of the other characters who were in the Princess Alliance. You know, that kind of flaky, oh, I'm not really bad. No one was really bad. No one felt like a threat.
I don't know, one of the characters ended up, I think, fairly as a bad person by the end of it.
To a point. The only one I felt was actually villainous, like really villainous, was Shadow Weaver, and that was about it. And Hordak's not in it that much.
No, he's not.
He is very much not a part of the show, which was a shame, because again, when I think of Hordak, I think of him being a bit of a being really good in The Secret of the Sword, then being a bit of a bumbling mess for the rest of the series, because they toned him down dramatically after that. But then I remember what he was like, even briefly, in the 2000X show.
Well, we're like, basically, if Hordak shows up, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, you were fucked. He actually got more presence in the He-Man 2000X show than he did in this show.
Yeah, he did actually.
Yeah.
'Cause they had the flashback episode in that at least.
Yeah, they had a flashback, and they had a good few times where he talked, like he was either alluded to with images of himself, or where he talked to Skeletor, or oh Christ, what was Skeletor's name? Keldar, yeah. Like when his face was all melty, and he's like, "I'll serve you if you stop my face fucking hurting," and he was like, "I'll read, but
right.
you'll have a skull face." Yeah.
Save me! No. Bang! Blows up the portal.
I wouldn't say it's the worst show ever, because there are obviously two camps on the internet. There are the people that say it is a god tier show and it has no flaws, and then there are people that say it is the worst load of trash they've ever seen, and you know,
where's my titties? People
should go on the cross and burn.
It is weird to hear people take the "where's my titties" angle with She-Ra, which is it's weird to see the other extreme, which is this is the best show, and if you say it's not the best show, I'll punch you in the dick 15 times.
Yeah,
but it's just when, like, She-Ra, no, that's a hard show for me to sexualize.
I did have an issue visually with everything about the show. There wasn't one visual thing I liked about it, and I think the biggest complaint, which I think is legitimate, is the fact that Adora and She-Ra are so similar in terms of their designs. There's not a lot of difference between them. Between Adam and He-Man, at least in the 2000X show, which if you're gonna compare it to, you should probably compare it to that rather than the 80 show, because they're closer together. There was a massive difference between Adam and He-Man, but they still felt similar. With She-Ra and Adora from this show, they are so similar. She-Ra's sometimes taller, depending on the animation at the time. And then just has long hair and slightly different armor, and that's pretty much it. She doesn't look like, her facial structure's still the same. It's too similar for my liking.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the animation, it's again very that post-Avatar vibe, which is becoming more and more a thing in action shows. Which, I mean, if you're gonna ape one show in the world, it's probably not the worst one to ape. But you can really see the post Cartoon Network influence on the animation style.
Yeah.
Especially like Madame Raz, when she shows up, she feels like her design is from a different show.
Yeah, she doesn't fit in desperately well.
Like, it's that thing, like, in Voltron, in season 1 anyway, all the aliens felt like they were from an anime, and all the humans felt like they were from
Korra.
Yeah. And it was a really bit of a jarring thing, and it's a stylistic thing they did. Here, you don't have that extreme a lot of the time, but it is there, and like the angles and the very strong emphasis on roundness in the designs.
Yeah.
Not a bad. I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's just a bit jarring for me. But no, like, I think I definitely enjoyed it more than you did. But yeah. I'm not gonna. I don't think it's setting the world aflame. I think Dragon Prince is a much better show.
Okay, I wish I could watch that, but the animation, the lack of frames, I feel would kill me.
Yeah,
especially since you just told me in the same podcast that there was a ticking in your brain as you watched it.
For the first 3 episodes.
Yes,
it improves dramatically after the pilot.
Okay, how many episodes was it?
10.
Yeah, all right.
But it's like you can very much see like at least someone said, "Guys, you need to tone that back a bit."
Or put more frames in. Just put
Yeah.
more in. Jesus.
And apparently, like they said for season 2, they're taking fan opinion for on board.
Okay.
But like I would say that is a much better show in terms of overall writing, story, characters. Still very post Avatar, but it's being made by the Avatar guys, like the Avatar guys. So can't really blame them there. The animation is what lets that show down sometimes.
Right.
Here, I think this is solid, but I give it a 7 or an 8, but that doesn't necessarily mean I think it's like top tier,
Yeah. I think I would probably settle more around round of 5, I think. Like maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more, depending on how I feel at the time. But
I will say one thing. I'm not sure I can put up with Swiftwind.
oh, Swiftwind. Oh God, I forgot about Swiftwind. That was awful. That was really bad. How would you describe Swiftwind?
A really crap revolutionary who disappears for most of the show.
Oh yeah, he's not in for like 90% of it, I'd say.
Yeah,
or 80.
but he's in the first couple of episodes. He disappears.
Yeah,
and then shows up in the last 3.
yeah.
And everyone's
he's
like,
talking
and
now.
But everyone like when he shows up, it's the same kind of thing. Anytime a new character shows in, and if they haven't been developed, there's still this thing like we're all best friends.
Yeah.
Like the ice one as well. Like she just sort of is there as part of the team at one point.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I remember her episode, and this was not leading to this.
Oh, the princess prom. I hated the princess prom, and you could have made me not hate it by not calling it a prom, by and make it have a lot more sense as Catra and Scorpia are there, and second episode where She-Ra is in the Whispering Woods, and everyone's like, fuck the Horde, we should kill this child. You noticed that there was no issue with that at the princess prom at all. No one cared. I know they had a whole no violence thing, but no one gave them shitty looks or had extra guards posted on them. The way that you make that, you cover that plaster up, or you cover that hole up, and you make it not a prom, which was just lame, is you have it as a diplomatic mission or a negotiation between the rebellion and the Horde. And then you can have all the same shit happen for the most part, but you wouldn't have those things of why is the Horde here and nobody cares. And well, the other point is just me thinking it's the idea of having a prom during a war for freedom is not
but
appropriate.
Also I will say I really was disappointed Spinnerella and Nesta didn't do more.
What do you mean? They were there in episode 3.
Or Nertosa, sorry. Because like I liked what was her name? The trap one. I liked her a lot.
You mean Washu?
Yes, Washu was great.
She was 100% Washu.
Yeah, but
I hated her. I couldn't stand her.
You can't fuck up Washu.
No, they did Washu right the first time. They didn't need to do her again.
Washu 2, purple.
Yeah.
But like I liked their designs and I wanted to see them do something and then they don't.
No.
And I forgot they were in the show until the last episode. And then it's like, hey, you're part of our best friend team. And I was like, I have no idea who these people are. Where did you come from?
Yeah.
And then I remembered, oh shit. Oh dear.
Yeah.
And like, this isn't me being a dick about a sentence, but I'm going to point out they're a full-on lesbian couple, so I'm surprised that wasn't brought up earlier, and they were just made part of the team normally, just to sort of like normalize that. Mm-hmm. Because like them being a lesbian couple is very much not what the two of them are about.
But do we know what they're about?
Spinning and nets.
Oh, you mean in that sense? I thought you meant just as a whole. Because apart from that,
no.
there was nothing to them. There was 3 things. There was one tosses nets, the other makes wind, and the other thing is they're in love with each other, and that's it, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like you had 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Who are these people? I checked. They're down as part of the main cast.
Yeah, maybe don't introduce them in the early episode and then not do anything with them.
Yeah, like especially the gag is we don't know why they're here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I said, I like their designs. Their designs are nice and their powers are fun. I'm fairly certain Spinnerella could have won this if she'd really tried. But also her name is Spinnerella.
Yep.
You can't really fault that, can you?
It's an 80s name, that's for sure.
I do love like hearing these very 80s names in modern TV.
Yeah, but then there was Kyle from the Horde.
Yeah, and Bo.
No, Bo works because that was an original name, but then
Yeah.
the Kyle, he's part of the Horde.
Kyle and Lonnie. They were...
Lanny sounds like fantasy-ish.
I don't know. Like
It sounds more fantasy-ish than fucking Kyle.
I kind of wish the lizard had been called Kyle. The one that doesn't have a name, but he's in fight scenes.
It would have worked more as a better joke, at least. Potentially.
But Kyle, I don't know where they're going with Kyle.
No, neither do I. He's there.
I don't know what they're doing with Kyle,
No.
but I have a weird feeling there is a plan for Kyle.
He's He-Man. If they get the rights to He-Man.
Well, seriously, like, I could very easily see a He-Man spin-off this. Especially since they're talking Eternia a lot. Like, as, like, they're not on Eternia, but they say Eternia a few times, so...
I think they're allowed to use that, but they don't have the rights to do anything He-Man related, which is why he's not really related at all.
What was it I read? Because there's a movie coming.
Oh, well, yeah, the movie that's been coming for like 10 years or something.
Yeah, but like there's a movie, like the movie rights are in works, and they've got a director and a writer and stuff. And I think that's why.
I'll believe
I was reading a review.
I'll believe it when I see the movie trailer, because remember there's been a Thundercats movie coming for years as well. So I believe none of this stuff until there is an actual trailer for these things. Otherwise, it's just nonsense. It's just people talking about rights and, oh yeah, we've got a script coming. It doesn't matter until the studio approves it, though. Means nothing.
But yeah. Do you want to talk about the nightmare?
Sure, because I can't actually think what the nightmare is, to be honest.
So, this is basically something that you sent me, and I had no idea this was going to be a thing.
Oh, that thing! Oh, okay, now I'm on board.
So I had no idea this was going to be a thing, so I just pressed play and watched the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my life.
And what was that?
Which was the Detective Pikachu trailer.
Who greenlit this movie? Who?
What? Why? What? Because I had no idea this was coming.
No one did.
And then it's like live action Pokemon movie with Ryan Reynolds playing Pikachu.
Yep.
But also the Japanese voice of Pikachu in there as well.
Yes, yeah, which I thought was nice.
Better than Ryan fucking Reynolds. There was a guy who just like, I wanted to be a Pokemon trainer. Never got to be. And I'm working in but I don't know if they were a journalist or a cop, but they were one of them.
And yeah, he was what, like 18?
They had a stapler.
Early 20s.
It's a movie where monsters beat the shit out of each other at some point, I'm assuming. And he had a stapler.
Yeah.
Because you can't use guns. You can set people on fire, but you can't use guns. It's terrifying looking. Pikachu is nightmare inducing.
The graphics are well done, but those designs, like in a real world setting with real fur, look bizarre.
They needed redesigning.
I'm kind of glad they didn't, though, because I think it's nice to have them kind of nightmarish, because they are pocket monsters.
Just children, like, everywhere, deeply scarred.
Yeah.
Like, the only one I would, like, we said it, like, the one that works is Jigglypuff.
Yeah, but that's for all the wrong reasons, because we kept talking about how Jigglypuff looked like a serial killer, and that would be a really good spin-off movie.
Yeah, where instead of, like, when she takes the top off her microphone, it's a knife underneath it, not a marker.
Yeah.
And, like, you're just, the horror movie is you're running out into a dark room and it's just like, gotta stay awake in the background. Jigglypuff, stay awake. You're, like, cutting off your own hand to stay awake as she's getting louder and louder and louder.
It could super easily turn into a Nightmare on Elm Street movie with Jigglypuff. Yep. Super easily.
But it was freaky as fuck.
Yeah, I think it looks interesting. I am shocked that this is getting made. Because what was the last Nintendo movie? The Mario Brothers live action movie.
I don't know. What was the last Pokemon movie that anyone watched?
Oh, don't ask me
like
that.
The new one, I know, because the new one's like was a reboot or something, a movie reboot, or a spin-off or something like that.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
But because I saw a trailer and it was like Ash, but with different characters. And Pikachu talks at the end.
Oh no. With Ryan Reynolds' voice.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I just saw a review where there was this pause and just like, and Pikachu talked at the end.
We need to get that as fucking canon. Like all Pikachu sound like Ryan Reynolds when they're talking in human terms.
Even the females.
Yeah. Do you think they'll go into the lore and explain why Meowth can talk then?
Oh my god. Is he going to be in it? Like, what if Team Rocket's in this?
Because from the looks of things, the kid, the main star, can understand Pikachu, but can't understand any of the Pokemon, right? I wasn't misremembering that, right?
No, and no one else can understand Pikachu.
No. So, what's up with that?
Like, Mr. Mime tells you to shove it.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, Mr. Mime looks like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. If they do, like, anime characters in there, again, Mr. Mime, he'll kill you.
Yeah.
But if they do anime characters like Jesse and James and whatnot, and they try like, hey, we're going to capture the spirit of the anime, I'm not sure I could take Jesse's hair in like 3D real world physics.
Do you think they're going to have like a scene where someone's going to get mugged and it's Team Rocket that's mugging them? And they're going to be like a dark, sinister, edgy version where they like pull out knives and be like, you want to fight my Arbok? I've got a fucking Nidoking if you don't fucking hand over the money.
Arbok's just like wrapped round, is getting squeezing tighter and tighter and tighter. It's
going to be like the scene from Anaconda with John White. It just eats someone and then vomits them back up. This could be a real sick movie, man.
Yeah.
It won't be. It's weird. It's bizarre.
Yep. And it's continuing the lie that Pikachu matters.
Well, it's not the Pikachu, it's just a Pikachu, and everybody
What
loves...
if the Pikachu shows up? What if, like, halfway through we just see, like, a guy in a red hat walk by,
But would it be Ash or would it be Red, since they are two different people?
So you just see the hat and you'd never know which.
Actually, no, Red doesn't have Pikachu, or
he does,
Pikachu.
But Red sometimes has Pikachus, but for Red, the important one is Charizard.
That's right, as it should be.
So why can't we have that movie?
Well, to be fair, there was a shot where it looks like a Charizard's going to eat Detective Pikachu.
I bet that's just like, and then the Charizard gets electrocuted and ha ha ha.
I also mentioned to you, and I've mentioned it to a few people, I think that we need the Danny DeVito track replacement for Ryan Reynolds on the Blu-ray, because I remember back when Detective Pikachu the game was talked about, and people were like, I don't even remember why, but they're like, get Danny DeVito to do it. I think this would be great for the Blu-ray. Not for the movie, but for the Blu-ray. Get him, because Danny DeVito's still alive, so to get it done.
He ain't dead.
He ain't dead. Bizarre. Really
freaky.
Is it next year? Or is it 20?
I think it's 2019.
Okay.
I think it's 2019.
I don't know if I want to see it or not.
I would see it in a group. I would not see it on my own.
See, I have no qualms about seeing movies on my own.
Oh no, I like seeing movies on my own, but I don't want to see that movie on my own.
Oh,
I don't
why
want
is
the
that?
nightmares because I'll be scared. Like, especially like the movie, like the audience full of children, and you're just sitting there leaning back into your chair, your eyes getting wider, and like they're zooming in and jiggling Puff's face or something, and just like, Megan, no.
See, I was
Ryan Reynolds, save me.
I was talking about this with Turnbull yesterday, Andy Turnbull, and he was talking about how he can't go to children's movies on his own because he just feels shame and dirty, and I was just like, you need to grow up and get past that. There is no shame.
Ironically, to see a child movie in the cinema, you need to grow up.
Yeah.
It's an ironic thing, but it's true.
Yeah, because I don't care. If people saw me like at a kid's movie, I'd be like, I don't care what you think.
People don't think about you. They're too worried about the fact that their children are screaming or throwing popcorn at my head.
Or I would imagine they're probably happy to have something to absorb their children for just one more moment. One more moment of peace and silence. As long as you're not
going there with a Tinder date or something, sitting in the back, I think you're fine.
Or making out.
Sloppily making out. That's where those things go. Nom, nom.
Pikachu.
Halfway through the movie, just hear in the back, zip.
Are you there yet? It's time.
And it'll just be the one moment where all the children had stopped laughing.
The cinema just goes deadly silent at that point. Well, there's something for you to look forward to for 2019, I guess, kids. Enjoy.
Hey. Yeah. I'll be honest. I might see Dragon Ball before I see Pikachu.
Will it be available in your area?
Do you know what? If it was on in Dublin just for the experience, I'd go up to see it.
Oh, okay. That's still a bit of a trek for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but like the other anime movies that get aired down here with stuff like Fairy Tail and some other shonen one.
Right.
And it was just like, no, I've got no connection to this. Like, even if it's terrible, I have a connection to Dragon Ball.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, I will travel for that.
Yeah. Makes
I'll
sense.
make a day of it.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's probably where we should end the podcast for this week, Mr. Mikey.
Yes.
So where can people find you on the net if they wanna?
I'm on Twitter as no, I'm not. I'm on Twitter as Irish Paleo, on YouTube as GBully3. If you want to leave us some feedback, guys, we really appreciate it. The email address is themoonbase2@gmail.com. The Twitter address is themoonbase2. Doesn't matter what it is. We'll read it out as long as it's not like, what are you wearing? Because quite frankly, you're not ready to know.
I don't want to know. That's
and also,
just underline that shit.
If you're on Patreon, guys, also send us messages. We always love to hear them. Andy, what about you?
Well, before I forget, because I did it last week, we actually do have some comments. So before I talk about my things, let's talk about some fucking questions, Mikey, because this is a great time, even though we've been waffling.
I'm wearing a thong.
His thong. Okay, so question from Richard Delafield. I think that's how you say your name, sir. The question for the show is: if IDW do a BotBots comic, who should the creative team be? And because I saw this early, like last week or something, I already have the perfect answer. But I want to know what incorrect answer Mikey has for me.
Who could? What was their name? They wrote "I Hate Fairy Tales." Is that it? Oh, hang on.
Mikey's already made a poor choice, but we'll see where he goes. We'll see where he goes.
I Hate Fairyland. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
Written by Scotty Young.
Okay.
Which is a story about a young girl called Gertrude who gets transported into Fairyland and is an unaging, violent misanthrope 30 years later, who is murdering her way across it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to read that version of BotBots.
Okay.
With the same artist as well, because I love the art of that book. The artist is Scotty Young as well. Oh, well done, Scotty.
Cool.
Okay, so how am I? I know I'm wrong, but how are you right?
Okay, so the writer is Sakamoto.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the artist, because I think he would be perfect for drawing and coloring, would be Mr. Prez, Mr. Daimuch.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You actually thought this through.
I did. Yeah. You have the crazy, over-the-top, ridiculous story that would fit perfectly with BotBots, and who knows what Sakamoto could do with them.
Yeah.
It would be amazing, and Josh's art style, I think, would be perfect for it, and I think he deserves, at this point in time, to be able to draw a comic. So yeah. I think that would work. Either that, or get Frank Miller to do the story for it.
No.
Dark and edgy.
Frank Miller will not touch anything ever again if I have my way.
That was my joke answer.
Oh, he's not. Do you know what? He was never that good. I'm saying it now. His comics came out at an important time. He was never that good. Fight me.
Well, you have the information for where you can find Mikey to fight him if you want to.
My address is in Newcastle.
There's a comment that we got on the YouTube page where you can also send us questions if you like, from Caden Hernandez. The question
That's an amazing name.
Yeah, Caden Hernandez. They have a Soundwave head as a little symbol. Do you guys think Siege will do as well or better than the studio series? And which line do you think is better? So there's a couple of bits to unpack there with the question. So what do you think, Mikey? First off, what do you think will do better? And I'm assuming by that they mean
sales, I suppose.
Yeah, sales in that kind of idea.
Honestly, especially with Bumblebee coming out, I think Studio Series, at least until the end of the year, maybe a bit past it, will be ahead in sales. Because I think it's passed out generations generally. Just because I think it's more marketable. It's also hitting a weird nostalgia button that a lot of people didn't realize that they had.
Yeah, because, I mean, the first movie came out a long time ago at this point, so those kids might have that affection to get the old designs, but, transform
and then you got people like Chris who are just running around saying, like, give me the impossibles.
The impossible dream.
Give me a movie one Megatron that works.
Oh, no. Can that happen? Will he have the vagina face, the original artwork vagina face?
I don't honestly know how you could do it as a toy. But now, like, which line do I think will be better as a toy? Studio Series, like, it's got some good toys in it.
Well, it's,
like
the question specifically is, which line do you think is better? So I
think-
don't know whether they mean that as a toy or if they mean from a personal standpoint where
I'm
you would
gonna-
die on.
I'm going to approach this as toys.
Okay.
Right? So, like, because, like, obviously I'd be more interested in the G1 line than the movie line, just because I have very little emotional connection to the movie line.
Sure.
Okay?
Yep.
I would say that the Siege toys, every review I've seen, the actual figures themselves, for all the complaints I've had about the G1 nature, the over G1 nature of it, they look like pretty damn solid.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like it's a solid line. I'm wondering if one of the reasons Power of the Primes is cut short because they put more development time into these.
I wouldn't be shocked.
And I obviously like the paint. I wish it would go away, but the toys themselves look solid. From what I've seen of the Studio Series, it's more hit and miss.
Yeah.
There's low quality figures. There's low quality runs. There's good figures in there, and they're usually figures that people are going to want, like Grimlock, Optimus, Starscream, or whatever. They're higher quality ones like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very curious to see with Devastator and the Dark of the Moon Megatron. I'm very curious about those, but I think that as figures, Siege looks more solid and more well put together.
Did you see the custom of the Megatron cleaned up? That went
No,
on
I
Twitter?
haven't actually.
It looked really nice. It looked at least from my perspective, it looked a lot better cleaned up. So it is definitely possible for you to do it with like rubbing alcohol or something like that. So wash your toys when you get them. That will be this year's thing, to clean your toys.
Wash your toys. Have a Decepticon sticker handy just in case.
Just in case, yes. Or like go over put like sellotape or something over the top of the symbol before you start scrubbing.
What's your thoughts then, Andy?
I would probably agree that from a money perspective, the movie line the Studio Series will probably do better. Just because the Siege line is very much more focused at the adult market. Not to say that kids don't buy it, but it is more catered towards us, so we have much more nostalgia for it. Does that mean that kids would prefer the Studio Series over the Siege ones? I don't know.
I wonder how much of because I suspect like nostalgia has a bigger part in Studio Series than we think.
It might do, yeah. I would be interested to know like what there's no way to do it unless you have a goddamn survey in every store. But I'd be interested to know what the demographics would be for who buys the lines and in what kind of quantity, because that could be quite interesting to see what that was. But I would suspect it would probably be the Studio Series, but I could be wrong. In terms of what I prefer, like Mikey, I prefer the Siege stuff. I can't say how, because I haven't looked at any videos for Studio Series stuff because I've had no interest in them, so I can't say how complex or interesting the transformations are versus the Siege stuff. But I have seen the Siege stuff and the Megatron. I have looked at a few times this week and thought maybe I should, and then gone, no, I should be smart. They're going to be loads of them. He's going to drop in price. Just leave it. But it seems like he has a few issues here and there, like specifically with how his head hides away, like and it doesn't clip into place when you put it into robot mode, which is a bit of a shame. But it looks like a fairly solid line. There's just not a huge amount of figures currently out that I have a lot of need to get, apart from Shockwave, who is maybe a bit expensive at £50.
Yeah.
But leader toys. So that was the question, so thank you very much. We also have... where is it? Is that it? Oh, there it is. Tentomon 4. Tentomon 4. Tentomon 4.
Tentoman.
Tentomon.
Tentoman.
Mon.
He stands up in the wild.
It's a mon. Question for the podcast. Any thoughts on the rise of the... Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I didn't care for it much.
Was that the movie?
No, the new TV show.
Oh, the news show. Okay.
Like, it's from what I've seen of it, the animation is nuts when it gets into action. Absolutely insane. I'm not crazy about the style, just it's not my kind of thing. But the actual like animation in the action thing is very, very fluid, very crazy. But the writing, what I've seen was not good.
It wasn't for you then.
Well, the fact that the turtles are all like they have theoretically archetypes they're in.
Oh, I've heard that they're all the same character basically.
Yeah,
in the show.
they are. That's basically it is. Like except with like mild variations, but like
Right.
they're the voice coming out of them. It's all the same, and what they're saying and how they're saying it. Like April's the best character in it because she's just completely insane.
Mm-hmm.
The villain, I don't know what to make of him. I can't tell if they're taking him seriously or he's a joke, but I suppose he's both. But I just not my kind of show. What I've seen, I might watch a little bit more, but I'm saying this as someone who really liked the first 3 seasons of 2012 and felt that the show started to lose its feet after that. And who never really got into the 2003 version. But this is just maybe it's one of those other audience things. It just feels very much like a Nicktoon, like an old school Nicktoon, and not in terms of how it's structured and everything else. And they're still trying to tell a bit of an origin story in some of this, so it's like, it's just not for me. It's just not for me.
I watched trailers
have
for
you
it,
seen it?
and I watched some trailers for it and wasn't that interested in it. From what I saw, I didn't hear great things about it, and I kind of stopped doing turtles when they went into space from the previous show.
Turtles.
Yeah, it kind of got away from me at that point, and this new show really didn't make me want to go back to it to try this one out. So
It is definitely quite a different show.
it is. It certainly looks it. But yeah,
I hear its target demographic is doing very well.
Oh, well, that's good. At least it's hitting what it should hit, I guess, is maybe a good way to fling it about. But yeah, I can't really give too much of an opinion because I haven't seen it and don't really plan to. So yeah. So if you want to find me on the internet, you can head over to Twitter for CCTFW. You can head over to YouTube for Cobra Commander TFW. If you want to hit this podcast up for more stuff, you can head over to Moonbase 2 podcast, which is iTunes, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. Most of those RSS feeds and other fancy things. And you can head over to ccbunker.weebly.com for all of my nonsense and my woo-woos if you want to go there too. And as Mikey said, you can leave messages on most of those places as well if you want to send us some questions on anything, really.
Yep.
Yeah. So, cool. Thank you, Mr. Mikey, for coming and joining me this week and having a little nosh about, well, not much Transformer stuff, to be honest, but, you know, I think we had a good time at the very least. I hope people enjoyed us talking about non-Transformer stuff, but you know,
Indeed.
You know, you have the choice not to listen to us if you don't want to.
Yeah. Go listen to TFW. They're always on topic. Always on time.
Goddamn Seth, always pulling it off topic.
Yeah, with your Star Wars.
You mean Star Trek? He's always talking about Star Trek.
Oh yeah, well, his Trek Wars is his favorite one.
Trek Wars. I thought Seth's favorite was Thumb Wars.
What about Star, the show no one talks about?
Oh God. We'll catch you next week, everybody.
Remember, paint your lights.